leaves a trace. Every transaction, a fingerprint in the chain. You may think you're walking through fog, but the fog glows under the empire's light. To map a man's transactions is to map his soul. Surveillance is the new confession. Segment 1, the ledger remembers. Bitcoin's brilliance is its honesty. Every input and output, every Satoshi accounted for, a perfect record stretching back to Genesis block. But in this perfection lies exposure. Your wallet doesn't own coins. It holds references to history, like veins carrying ancestral memory. When you reuse an address, you reveal the lineage. When you spend from multiple inputs, you tie your identities together. And when you buy through a KYC exchange, you hand that lineage to the empire's clerks. Technical spine. Address reuse leads to deterministic fingerprinting. Input clustering leads to common ownership heuristics. Exchange withdrawal analysis leads to linking off-chain IDs to on-chain activity. Dust attacks leads to forced traceability through microscopic outputs. The ledger itself is neutral, but the watchers are not. Segment 2, the priests of the panopticon. Chain analysis firms are not scientists. They are priests of empire, interpreters of data as dogma. Their mission, to translate patterns into profiles, probabilities into people. They cluster wallets, map flows, and sell those maps to governments and corporations alike. This is surveillance capitalism, not watching to protect, but watching to profit. Every AML compliance tool is a lens. Every lens sharpens an image of your life. They call it know your customer, but what they mean is know your subject. Technical note: heuristics are probabilistic, not perfect, but when linked to KYC data, probability becomes persecution. The illusion of anonymity vanishes once metadata meets identity. Your IP address, browser fingerprint, and transaction timing complete the triangulation. Segment 3, the moral paradox. Transparency is good until it becomes total. A system that sees all cannot forgive. A chain that remembers everything can be turned into a weapon. Because data does not decay, it waits, and power always returns to claim what it can see. This is the paradox of Bitcoin. The same light that reveals corruption can also expose innocence. Freedom, therefore, depends not on hiding from truth, but on deciding who is allowed to see it. Segment 4, shadows as resistance. In the ancient world, to stand naked before the gods was purity. But before kings, it was death. The wise learned the art of shadow, of speaking in symbols, of hiding truth within truth. Bitcoiners, too, must learn to move through shadow, not out of fear, but out of respect for dignity. A UTXO is not just a number, it is a fragment of your story. Guard it like you would a memory. Separate your transactions as you would your prayers. Not everything must be public to be true. Technical practices. Avoid address reuse. Use coin control to separate identities. Mix KYC and non-KYC funds only with intent. Run your own node to verify without exposure. Use privacy-preserving tools, VPNs, Tor, Sparrow, Wasabi, join market. Every layer of privacy is an act of self-respect, a refusal to let empire map your soul. Segment 5, Closing Reflection. They say sunlight is the best disinfectant, but too much light burns. The cathedral must have stained glass, not to obscure truth, but to make it bearable. Bitcoin was not built for secrecy, it was built for honesty. But honesty requires boundaries. Without them, truth becomes tyranny. Everything recorded, nothing forgotten. The question is who sees and why? Reflection. Where in your own life do you confuse visibility with virtue? When you share online, what part of yourself are you really revealing? Your truth or your need to be seen? How can you cultivate selective transparency, open where it builds trust, silent where it protects dignity?